It all started here, at the Deutscher Freiheit. I was finally starting to get my groove back on again, after probably the most challenging time of my life, when suddenly the blast doors were closed on me, and I just felt lost, having been dealt yet another blow. With the curfew in place, and my beloved Dusk setting out of reach, I was forced to reinvent myself. At the beginning it was just a gimmick, an additional little watermark of my goofy individualism, which then evolved into a lot more, but I'm getting ahead of myself. The Curfew Chronicles. Yeah, the one that started it, and it began with a Mary Chain song. I knew her from the collabs she did with Moon Addict and Sticks and Speed on Stornebeats recordings. She did a little live session from a van in the middle of nowhere, and she spoke wonderful words of freedom, which really hit a mark, and actually were the initial push into my reinvention, the birthing hour of my shadow dance, dark saber dancing as I call it now. Just me and, yeah, the sun, because I just figured, well, if I can't switch the light on my lightsabers, I just use another light, and the sun was there, and I somehow just found it. And yeah, that's how the Curfew Chronicles came to be. There's a lot more to it, but as for that, I think I'll just let the songs speak for themselves, because there's a lot in there. If you're curious, you can just listen to them, and you can probably figure it out if you'd like. Next up, well, the Dusk Falls Tales. Decided to keep the chapters. Back then I didn't really know yet. I just thought, hey, let's keep it up, it's fun. Let's see what I can come up with. And I didn't really get a grasp of what it actually means to me, but I just knew there was something there that I was not yet seeing. So it all started when I got it all back, and in this time a lot of baggage was left behind. Personal pain and struggles really started to fade out. And on top of that, I was blessed with all these amazing sunsets. So many colors, and it just felt unreal at times. And overall, how I felt was that I was really feeling liberated, and actually made a lot of personal progress during that time, as I finally had enough peace around to actually process all that had transpired in my personal life. So I would say it was a time of newly found old freedoms, and deepened my connection with the Deutscher Freiheit, and I discovered new areas to flow to, and was just super grateful to being able to go back out there again and living a freer life than I could the months before. Nightfall Sanctuary, my third chapter, which began when I realized that I got a little bit too fixated on the Dusk setting, and developed this weird time pressure that I didn't want or need. So yet again I reimagined myself, went back out into the night and back to the start, to the complete darkness, searched for new locations to flow, and reimagining my flow in that setting with all the skills that I had developed throughout my journey, whilst not forgetting the path itself and all the other settings that were still there and still beloved by my heart. But there were also some personal processes involved, and once again the clubs were closed and unavailable to me. So I decided to use that to my advantage, steer into the skid and answer some personal questions, like how much of an introvert am I actually? Am I purely an extrovert? Am I both? Yeah, and I got around all that because I see an opportunity in basically everything that I encounter, because there's always something to learn about myself. And what I found was that an idea actually made its way to the surface, and with all the time alone, I really got a lot better at my flow and started to get a lot more confidence, which led me to the last chapter I'm addressing, Return of the Master. And yeah, that's basically all it is, me having the confidence again to go out there and do the Rank of Master challenge, which had been abandoned for so long. So, what is this idea I keep talking about? Well, it's basically a reversal of my approach to this channel. Back then I asked myself, what would a pacifist Jedi do to keep up the connection with their weapon, when they never intend to use it, unless under extreme circumstances? And I thought, hey, why wouldn't they dance to it? So I became the dancing Jedi. And now, I had the idea to reverse the process. Where would a dancing Jedi actually fit into the Star Wars universe? Finding that thing that was dwelling inside the whole time when I did these chapters and suddenly I found, hey, wait a second. You always wanted to write a story. So why not make this a Star Wars story? And that is what I'm currently also working on. That I'm gonna address in another video. But now, you know what all these chapters are about. Basically, self-discovery, reimagining, reinvention, and yeah, this channel that I just love.